Oh god, the days are too bright. Yeah, we know Mion. Rain has got some strange tastes. Hey there guys, my name is Nix and welcome back to Higurashi. When they cry, ho? Chapter 1? I've given up trying to remember the Japanese word, although you've told me in the comments it's not Hinamizawa. I originally thought it could have been that, as like, this is the first chapter and we're just introducing it to Hinamizawa. I can dig it out real quick, one moment. Steam, answer my questions. Onikakushi. Onikakushi. My Japanese is not good enough to know what that word means. Hold on. You know what? Someone who's better than me at Japanese, please feel free to inform me. I will, until that happens, remain ignorant. Anyway, before we go on and read the main part of today's episode, I'm just gonna flash back to me from about 10 minutes ago, who's gonna read the tips that I had from the last episode. Because I know I didn't read them, and you all advised me to read them. So, back to him. Thanks, future tense me. Now, yeah, as he said, I'm just here to read some tips before we get on with the main part of this video, because y'all have recommended that I actually read them. So, I guess we're going to start with the Maibara? Maibara? Japan is hard? No, Japanese is hard. Could be both, but you know, whatever.
So, Kei-chan, you're not stinking rich?
Don't know what gave you that impression. What is this all of a sudden? Have I gone to school in a limo before?
How much do you get for a monthly allowance?
About $10.
My, that's a rather plebeian amount. His lunch is made up of normal stuff. He isn't rich.
What are they talking about? To be asked out of nowhere how much I get and then being told that's a plebeian amount. Sorry. Reina seemed to pick up on my dubious expression and started giggling.
Kei-chan, your house, you know, it's pretty big, yeah? So the architecture has people all around here in Mizuwa calling it the Maibara Manor, as it sort of stands out.
Maibara Manor?
Since the house is so big, everyone is gossiping, wondering exactly how rich you are.
I see. Now I get it. Well, the frame of it is huge. I could see how it could cause some misunderstandings.
From my deduction, I wager that they spent too much money building the house. And that's why they are now broke. How very, very unfortunate.
Rika-chan took pity on me as she patted my head. I go from being treated like a millionaire to like a beggar. Yeah, sorry for ruining your imagination, but we aren't millionaires, or poor. We're the image of a normal, average household.
You can't call that normal with that huge house. The entranceway is all grand, and the gates are large enough for a large truck to get through. That's not normal at all.
They do say the bigger your house, the more prosperous you are. That's a big house, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what I was expecting. Wasn't that? The reason the house is so big is because Dad's studio's in it too. There are a bunch of different workshops, and a lot of his works are hung up in different places. All of them are huge too. For those reasons, the family actually uses only a third of the house for day-to-day living. He planned it out so people and cars could come in and see the gallery as he opens up in the house someday. By the way, the entranceway Mion is talking about is the same one for the studio and is normally sealed off. The entranceway to the Maibara family is actually used is a very plain and simple looking one. The interior is much different from how it looks on the outside.
I'd really like a chance to explore Kei-chan's house. Maybe not to be rich, but having a home like that! What could be hidden there? Maybe there's something cute hidden. They probably have no money to purchase furniture, so it's filled with Spartan rooms. They're cooperative rooms. I'd love to try rolling around on the floor. That'd be great! So great! I want to roll around too!
Reina confuses me, I'm not gonna lie. Seems like their imaginations were just piling on. Well, sometime in the near future, it wouldn't be too hard to invite them all right to my house. Dad's a sucker for the ladies, so he might even let them look around his studio. Don't think your dad should be hitting on girls. Any of the girls of this, now that I think about it. I was about to single out the two lollies, and I'm like, no, probably shouldn't hit on Mion and... What? I've forgotten her fucking name. God damn it. It was literally there 5 seconds ago. Brain, why do you do this to me? The cry of the Higurashi crescendoed as the sky towered over everything. It was hot, but the air was clear. It smelled like the beginning of summer. Reina! That's fucking it. Jesus Christ. How my brain forgets things like that, I'll never know. Anyway. Oh. the newspaper clipping about the murder or dismemberment. I don't know why they felt the need to, like, tack on the dismemberment part, but sure. From June the 1979 edition. The Shishibone City Okinomiya Police Station, June 9th, late at night. Suspect redacted were arrested on suspicion of murder and improper disposal of a corpse. The main offender has been added to the wanted list nationwide. According to our sources, the 6 suspects were at the Hinamizawa Dam construction site workroom on the redacted night at 9 p.m. where they are suspected to have assaulted and murdered the site overseer, blank as a group, dismembering his body and hiding it. On the at 8 o'clock in the morning, a report was filed by the Shishibone City Hospital in which a male suspect alluded to having murdered Mr. X. When questioned at the police station, the individual confessed to the crime. Since a portion of the body was recovered at the location he gave, he was arrested that afternoon on suspicion of murder and mutilation of a corpse. The rest of the suspects were arrested the same day, but the main culprit is still at large. Police are currently on his trail. The motive is purported. Hold on, I need Google to tell me how to say that word. Purported. Never heard of it before. I'm unsophisticated, as you could probably gather. Appearing or stated to be true, though not necessarily so, or alleged. Okay. The motive is purported to be a drunken verbal dispute during which he killed the victim in a fit of anger. However, there are multiple inconsistencies with their testimonies. The investigation is ongoing. So some locals got pissed and murdered the site foreman. And chopped him up and tried to get rid of him. Okay, well, back to me in present tense. Well, do you feel enlightened after reading those tips? I know I sure do. I really liked the one about the newspaper and the murder. 'Cause, you know, that's what the whole thing's goddamn based around. Anyway, Raina was going to try and dig Colonel Randy out of the trash, wasn't she? And we agreed to help. God damn it, why do I do this to myself?
A Colonel Randy? Of course, that's right up her alley.
I've also lost my mouse cursor. Just need to make sure it's not on screen. Some people may or may not find it distracting. I understand her wanting to take home Sakoto and Rika-chan. But I can't understand Colonel Randy. What's so good about the four-eyed geezer?
Probably better to hear it from Reina, don't you think? She'll probably just say, because it's so cute, though.
Does Reina often go to the construction sites to hunt for treasure?
Every now and then she says she's going to have a look.
But a girl her age rummaging around the garbage is, well...
If Reina enjoys it, then I think it's fine.
What were they doing over there? Dam construction? It's been bugging me since yesterday, like an itch I couldn't scratch.
It was cancelled long ago. Everyone gathered together and fought against it.
Hearing an ominous word like fought come after Rika-chan's mouth startled me.
That's right.
That's the wrong button. I just was testing if spacebar automatically advanced, so I didn't have to keep pressing the mouse button. Does enter work? Enter works. Cool.
It was unbelievable. They said Hinamizawa would be sunk into the reservoir and we had no say in the matter.
So I'm only able to be here because the protest succeeded.
I'm sorry. I didn't keep you, did I? Did I? My deepest apologies, Keiichi-san. It took me a while to powder my nose.
What fucking nose? You don't have a nose! Me in post-production, zoom in on that face! Where the fuck is that nose? I see the one fucking fang she's got, and that bothers me to no end, but I don't see a nose. Anyway. Sakoto. Wait until they can... Wait to use the can until you really have to go. It's a lot easier since it shoots right at... Keiichi? Keiichi, do you think about the things that leave your mouth?
How dare you speak that way to a maiden of unparalleled beauty such as myself?
Who is she calling a maiden? If Sakoto really was a maiden, she wouldn't have reacted like that. The usual hijinks ensued.
Now then, gentlemen, in accordance with the rules of our society, I bring a point to discussion. He, Keiichi Maibara-kun, wishes to be included as a member of our activities. What say you? Rina has no objection. I wonder if the likes of this peasant is up to the task. Me and Sakoto both approve.
The three that Mion had queried voiced their approval.
Unanimous decision! Congratulations, Keiichi Maibara! I present to you the honor of being allowed to take the entrance exam for our club.
Start from the beginning. I didn't say I would join. What club is this?
What our club does, you see. In order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities under different sets of rules. Sometimes they are in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. I'm pretty weak, so I'd prefer if you didn't single me out. Oh, let's try to get along. You're so naive, Reina. The law of the jungle is survival of the fittest.
This was starting to sound a bit sketchy. So, what kind of club was it?
So it's a club where we play games together.
Rika-chan was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. So basically this club that put Mion's hobby of collecting games to use. By playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day. It seemed that, depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finished in last place.
I'll make this clear right now. We aren't playing house here. You shouldn't treat each winner or loss as if your life...
No, you should...
You should treat each win or loss like your life depends on it, alright?
What's wrong with just having fun? Don't make it sound so crazy.
The first rule of our society! Aim only for first place! Going at it half-assed just because it's a game is not allowed! Rule number 2 for the society! For that reason, you are obligated to make all possible efforts!
The way Sakoto said it, it sounded like she was saying, use any means necessary.
Of course, I will do my best too. I'm pretty weak, but I'm trying my best.
I knew what they were trying to say. In a game where everyone's aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike to play just for fun. Alright, then I too will go all out! With that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation, my baptism into the club.
A word of warning, Kei-chan. Reina can get pretty nasty.
The initiation looks like it's going to be rough. Mion began fishing around in the students' lockers at the back of the room. They have games here at school? Well, it's club equipment, so I guess that's fine.
Complicated games will put Kei-chan at a disadvantage. So today we'll play a game app that you should be familiar with. How about a standard card game? Like Old Bachelor!
Really, just play Catan. You'll get him there. I think Catan had been invented by this point. It's mid-80s, right? That this is set. When did we invent Catan? Never mind. It came out in the mid-90s by the looks of it. Never mind. We can't play Catan. God fucking damn it. All right, let's do this.
Can't really get into it unless there's a penalty. This time the loser will have to be sentenced to having their face drawn on. Drawn on? Drawn up. Whatever. What do you think? It won't be a permanent marker, right? Right?
Permanent. She wants to draw on our faces with permanent marker?
That is perfect!
Sakoto cheered the idea on. She didn't even flinch at the thought as such a severe penalty. Seemed like she was raring to go. Hey, I'm gonna put my hand up and say that permanent marker comes off still if you put it on your skin. It's not like it's there forever. It just takes a lot of scrubbing. If it's going to be like this, then I can't lose either.
Then I'll just cut the deck and start dealing.
Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as Old Maid. I don't know the rules to either. There's only one difference. There is no Joker. In his place, one card is pulled out at the start. Meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end. Oh, okay, so this is the game where you have the hand of cards and you take cards from someone else trying to make pairs or sets of 4 or whatever. Okay, never mind, I do know this game. You don't know which card will end up being the Joker. Yeah, you've got to, like, make pairs and discard your cards down until, like, there's the one card left at the end. And whoever ends up with the Joker loses. It's a pretty thrilling game.
I'll take the card out now.
Mion took one card out and left it face down on the table. Everybody stared at the card intently. Well, it's pretty obvious in the endgame. What is this music? I feel like I should be fucking playing F-Zero or something to this music, not like reading a book. No way to tell at the start. but the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to the one face down, all the while gauging each other's reactions. It was as if they could see what the face down card was. No, it couldn't be. This deck is pretty worn out. No way. Can everyone tell by the scratches on what the card on the table is?
Remember the second rule of our society. Keiichi-san must try his hardest to win as well. A number of cards are quite unique. Keiichi-kun should be able to remember them pretty quickly.
She said that so matter-of-factly. Suits me fine. Don't think a little thing like that can be your crutch. I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious that I was at a disadvantage. After all, they'd gone so far as to memorize the wear and tear for each individual card. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. If this was a test, then they were playing with the answer sheet in front of them. Bring it. I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. That baseless confidence would soon be crushed.
How about I tell your hand starting from the right? 3, 4, 9, Jack, and Queen. By the way, the Bachelor is the Jack of Diamonds. I can tell what they are even if you switch them around. And I'm out!
Keiichi's having a bad time, okay? I thought I was prepared, but for it to be this brutal, it's so overwhelming. Demons. You're all demons. Reina, you're not a demon, are you?
Sorry, Keiichi-kun. This is the 3 of Hearts, isn't it? I'm out.
Man, Keiichi's just not having a good time. Not even a hint of mercy. Reina, even Rika-chan. These club activities weren't to be trifled with. An alumnus of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. If our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a death match on a deserted island, these guys would probably take to it like a fish to water. I can already picture their joy as they hunt down each of their classmates. That's some ominous fucking foreshadowing right there.
It's a lowest point system. The order itself dictates the points. Whoever has the lowest point total wins. Since Keiichi finished last, he has 5 points.
I already marked down a 5 on my scoreboard.
I think it's unfair to Keiichi-kun if we don't use a new deck. It's fine. Kei-chan's a man after all. You can turn the tables even if the odds are stacked against him, right? It's fitting for a lowly peasant to scamper home and soak their pillow in tears, don't you think?
A petite hand lay itself on top of my head, which was trembling from uncontainable frustration. It was Rika-chan's.
Keep on fighting, yeah?
Thanks to Rika-chan's words of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I could muster during the crisis. Think clearly, Keiichi Maibara. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. It's just as Reina said. Several of the cards have their own distinct markings made that making them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory.
Oh, great, Keiichi-kun! Just like that!
I covered the uniquely marked cards with my hand or other cards, arranging them in such a way that they couldn't be seen.
One with a ripped corner should be the 5. And I'm out.
I couldn't let any of those precious hints slip me by. All information is a weapon. Then it was my turn. Sakoto found out her cards in front of me. You see, I want the 7. Is it this one?
I wonder about that. You won't know unless you take it.
There was a bit of dismay in her expression. Like she doesn't want it taken. That kind of expression. I won't let that momentary lapse slip me by. I know! It's this one! Got it. 7 of spades. A cheer of ooh rang out.
What is this? The 7 should be the hardest one to tell them apart!
It wasn't from me memorizing the markings. Those slight changes in her expression as I was selecting a card were enough.
Can't hide it from me, Kei-chan! This mark means it's the 2 of diamonds. What?
She was startled by her own misread. Of course, everyone else was too.
It's rare that Mii-chan gets a card wrong. No. Kei-chan. Could it be you?
They told them apart by different marks. That mark was a nail scratch. So I put a new one on it.
Are you saying he disguised it as the 2 of diamonds? What an impressive show of wit! Keiichi landed a clean hit.
Round of applause.
That's great, Keiichi-kun! That was an incredible match, you know?
Having defeated the Forerunner Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. But by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish last. I laughed haughtily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerves. Well, I'm gonna end up the loser, but I'm satisfied with one-upping Mion at the end. That should be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who was at the top and already ensured victory.
Even if Kei-chan gets first place this round, he'll still end up last place overall. Don't you hate that?
Of course I do!
Let's have a duel. One chance! If you win, then we'll swap first and last place. How about it? You up for it?
She fell for it. A chance for an upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it. Sorry, I need water. One chance, you say? Let me hear the rules. Mion discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced one with a joker card that was on the table, and shuffled the resulting hand back into behind her back.
The card in my right or the card in my left? If Kei-chan can guess which hand's the joker's in, then he wins.
When you turned around just now, you didn't pull out the joker, did you?
If you lose, I'll show you the card in the other hand. That okay?
The other 3 gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of events. Alright! You've got it! Mion grasped 1 card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First, I needed to inspect them closely. The The card on the right had no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell what it was.
Which one, I wonder? Keiichi-kun, be careful!
Yeah, of course. This is my chance for a big comeback! Looking closely at the card on the left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't one I hadn't seen before.
That card is...
I didn't let that bit from the Sakoto slip by me. Mion clucked her tongue. I didn't recognize the mark on the left card from the small number that I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Sakoto's reaction that the card had already appeared during the game. Since it had appeared already before, that means it definitely wasn't the Joker.
Oh! Kei-chan thinks it's the one on the right. Will you choose that one then? Will you?
The left card definitely wasn't the Joker. If I could trust that theory, then it should have been able to declare that the card to the right was the Joker. Even without Mion's taunting. The one on the right was the most suspicious. But wasn't it a bit too rash to base solely on Sakoto's reaction? More carefully. Aha! I remember now! That mark. The left card, no doubt about it. The 7 of clubs.
It's the 7 of clubs, I see.
I've won. The card on the left was the 7 of clubs. That means the card on the right was the Joker! And then just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. I would expect nothing less from you. There's a wave of murmurs among the onlookers at my sudden halt, right before I confirmed the right card was the Joker. Huh?
What could Kei-chan possibly be saying? I mean, the left one is. Shh. Oh. What makes you so certain that the right one isn't the Joker, Kei-chan?
Mion let loose another unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled. I don't know what the card on the right could be. But I know that the one on the left is the 7 of clubs.
Then! Doesn't that leave the right one as the Joker? One of them has to be the Joker, right?
Yeah. One of these is the Joker, right?
Keiichi has good intuition. Huh? Rika-chan, what do you mean by...
So basically, the 7 of clubs, I discarded that by matching it with Sakoto's 7 of spades earlier. Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that sloppy pile. So that means Mion pocketed one of the discard cards and then aligned it over the left card. And that means...
I see, I get it! The left card is being disguised as a 7 of clubs, right?
It was the first time since the start of the match that a shadow ran across Mion's expression, and I didn't let that slip by. Then with a grand flourish, I declared it loudly. The Joker is the left one! It was an intense moment. The 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking the silence, the first one to speak was Mion.
Being the first president of this club, I've witnessed a variety of performances. Kei-chan, yours is the best. The best of the best of the best.
That was probably the greatest compliment Mion could ever give. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory! Rika-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory.
Huh? Rika-chan is...
Reina and Sakoto gaped? Yeah, Rina and Sakoto gaped at us, as if they'd seen a ghost. What is it, Reina? It's not as if I cheated or anything, right? That was fair and square!
Rika only pets someone on the head to console them.
Huh? What's the meaning of... That moment, Reina let out a small shriek.
Keiichi-kun! This is how it was! You know, Kei-chan, I thought you'd read into it that far.
Everyone froze. No, it was just me.
It was a gamble. If you just jumped to conclusions like a little brat, then I would have lost.
It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing hand.
Kei-chan, you know you should take pride in this loss.
She turned it around. That was the card that proclaimed the victor of this duel. The card under the 7 of clubs. Unbelievable, it was the 2 of diamonds! It was the setup behind the setup! If I just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it.
Ah! Mion Sonozaki! As the club president, do accept Keiichi Maibara's membership into our club.
As I slumped to my knees, dazed, everyone let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat.
The match is now over. Today's victor is me, Mion Sonozaki. And our exalted loser is Keiichi Maibara.
Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. I felt I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that it unexpectedly felt rather refreshing.
Mii-chan pulled that little trick behind her back. I got excited thinking she's gonna do it again. When Keiichi-san stopped the moment before touching the correct card, I thought he fell for it. He fell for it quite handedly.
Huh? Hey, wait. All of them knew from the start and still got so excited so earnestly?
Everyone got excited to make it more fun.
You! You're all demons! You monsters!
Now then, Kei-chan, it's time for your penalty. Since it's your first day participating, I'll go easy, okay? It'd be a problem if you refuse to come to school.
The other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licking her lips. Her right hand pulled something out of her pocket. That's a felt-tip marker. And it's a giant, permanent one!
Okay, here we go!
She took the cap off the marker and brought it slowly up to my face while I was immobilized. No! 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 That's peaked the microphone. I apologize for that one. I let out my death throes. God damn it, Mion. If the mind game's starting now, then I shudder to think where we get in a few down the line. As soon as the club activities were finished, Raina flew off. Probably so she could dig out that cute Colonel Randy doll that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today was just Mion and me walking home together. A rather rare occurrence.
A mountain of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought that in their wildest dreams the Rain would be grateful to them.
Mountains of treasure, meaning the dam construction site from before. Alright, Mion would probably tell me. That murder by dismemberment that seemed to happen there. Over there, you know, the dam construction site. Did something happen there? Long ago.
Something sure did! A grand battle! There were sit-ins and demonstrations.
It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided to listen just the same. It was our land that was going to be sunk into the dam reservoir. I know it's like dam as in like the ones that you build on the rivers to stop people from flooding, but every time I think of it, it's like, out of that goddamn reservoir! It's like a curse, but, you know, one of the mildest ones you can do. Now I would have thought as well, probably.
The government guys were really adamant about it. Acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out that they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. They were nasty guys.
Mion spoke excitedly as if the whole thing were happening right in front of her. I'm amazed you guys won. You were facing the federal government, right?
The mayor and prominent figures in the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo and struck deals with legislators. And as a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory.
There wasn't any violence, was there? Like assaults or murders?
None.
She promptly cut me off. The same as Reina had. Her words signaled the end of the discussion. Tomitaki-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that the murder by dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside.
Later! See you tomorrow! Kei-chan, can't wash that off until you get home, got it?
I got it, I won't. Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. Damn you, Mion. You shall rue this day. If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going to go all out. All over your face so you won't even be able to take it off, even with a scouring pad. That was a short interlude. Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered into my ear.
Welcome home, Keiichi. Dad, he's in a bit of a rut now, so don't bother him, okay?
Can't come up with a new idea?
It's because the deadlines are so close together this time. Your dad needs time to recharge, or he doesn't work well.
Dad's paintings feed our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, it's the end of the Maibaras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering around the house?
The theme of the piece this time is in the household. So it seems your dad wants to use the house as a motif.
That's quite a bothersome motif. Keiichi, tidy your room once in a while. Looks terrible. Sorry. I'll clean it later. Oh, come on, please don't use my room as the motif.
Keiichi, there's still some time before dinner. So please take a walk out back or something.
Dad's moods are only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea just to go take a walk so I don't aggravate him further. Well, I guess I will then. You don't want to clean your face? Probably should scrub your face, kid. Okay, never mind. I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have a particular destination in mind. I just needed to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take me an hour by bike to get into town. It'd be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The roads at night here in Hinamizawa creep me out. If Mion or Sakoto ever found out about that, I smiled wryly. Oh yeah, Reina was probably still at the Mountain of the Treasure, the damn construction site. The excavation of Colonel Randy was probably taking her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one. She might return the favor next time we have club activities. With a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the damn construction site. Tomitake-san might be there as well. The only person with information about the incident that both Reina and Mion denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. Man, the scenery's real nice looking. Also, I don't remember crossing this bridge the last time I came. I spotted Reina struggling up on the slope on the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Randy was lodged in there pretty firmly. Didn't look like Reina would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomitake-san wasn't around, I began climbing down the slope unsteadily. Hey, Reina! Looks like you're working up a sweat.
Oh, Keiichi-kun! What brings you to a place like this?
A place like this, huh? I see. She was aware of it, at least. I received a signal for emergency assistance at the accident site. Where's the injured party?
Huh? Accident? Huh?
There was a report that Colonel Randy was buried alive in a trash pile.
Oh, that. You scared me. Don't frighten me like that, Keiichi-kun.
I was just kidding. I thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came by to help you out.
You came for me?
Well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Reina blush at least once a day, I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake. Just kidding. You're embarrassing me now.
So, what pop was the joke? What pop was it?
I just ignored her bewilderment. Okay, now move out of the way. So, where's Colonel Randy?
Oh, sorry. Can't you see him? In the gap?
He really is buried in there. The Colonel Randy was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials that were caging him inside. According to Rainer, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this. You're trying to move this pile all by yourself? With those scrawny arms? There's no way she'd be able to do that with her slender arms. See, slender sounds flattering. Scrawny sounds like an insult.
Colonel Randy's so cute! There's a chain of Colonel Randy at the store. But this one, though, I should be able to take this one home. Ah!
If Raina gave up on this Colonel Randy, she'd probably start devising a plan to steal one from the front of the store. As Raini's guardian, I will not allow her to sully her hands with crime. Out of the way, I'll do it. Raina blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If we got buried any deeper, there'd be nothing that could be done.
Keiichi-kun, I'll help too. Let me help.
You just get in the way, so stay back. Felt like I actually strained something in my neck doing that one, Jesus Christ. Pulling out scraps, bending them, and tossing them aside. I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I throw out, there was still more. Even though I could see Colonel Randy right there. After grandstanding like that in front of Rainer, I felt frantic because of how little I progressed. If I was going to do this seriously, I'd need an axe or a saw or something.
That's enough, Keiichi-kun. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard.
I'm just doing it for you, Raina. Don't worry about it. Raina began sputtering and turning beet red. Whoops. I meant to say I was trying my best to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. I sprawled on my back over the grassy slope.
I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat.
Raina patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice.
Wait here a minute, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring you some barley tea, okay?
Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Raina took off running. The cries of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Raina was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I discovered earlier. It was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. There were bound stacks of not-so-reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. They still haven't found one of the arms. It was just as Tomitaki-san said. Then undoubtedly there would be mention of the murder. These are troubled times. There's no end to these sickening incidents. There's a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well. So it had to be recorded. Somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know when the perpetrator or who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only know that it had happened here. I looked up every so often to checking to see if Rainer had come back or not. I wouldn't want to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Both Rainer and Mion said they didn't know. But it had happened without a doubt. As long as Tomitaki-san wasn't lying. Then, if both Rainer and Mion... Ah yeah, there was. If they'd just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Rainer nor Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they'd tried to conceal it out of good intentions. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Hinamizawa damn worker lynching. Murder by dismemberment. Here it is. The featured article was in the back and it seemed like there was a photograph and coloured pages at the front. The pages of the article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Rainer could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag and newspaper reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder dismemberment. The victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as it happened. It really did happen. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned to the page without pausing. On it was... The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes and used the axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces. The head, arms, legs, and torso. I could understand from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes? That wasn't a lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter. A brutal murder. Done by a group of people. With hatchets. With pickaxes. With a hatchet. Sorry! Did I startle you? Did I startle you? Raina dropped the hatchet she was holding on the grass after being startled by my voice. Keiichi-kun! You see, earlier you said if you had an axe or something, it would be... You said it would help if you had an axe or something, didn't you? So I brought a hatchet for you from the shed. Raina fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. It seemed I'd been glaring at her pretty intensely. I'm sorry. I'm guessing my reaction was a bit overboard. No, I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry. Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out, and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow. Doesn't look like we can break the last beam without that hatchet. You brought it after all. I'll have to borrow it tomorrow, okay? Okay. Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Randy, right? You're right! I really want to take Colonel Randy home soon. We both knew that it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Raina brought and wiped the sweat off that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. genuine concern that the girl was about to murder me. Okay, we've got the special tableau report and the Hinamizuwa Dam project. And I got a Steam achievement, but y'all can't see that. And you know what? I think that's a good time for me to end this episode. All I did was lose at cards. And only momentarily panicked for my life. Only momentarily. I'm alive for the time being, and that's what counts. Anyway, thank you all for watching this episode of Higurashi, When They Cry Chapter 1. I'm just going to show it to Higurashi at some point, but I don't know when that point will be. But yeah, if you want to keep up to date with whenever I post more of these, you can feel free to subscribe to the channel. In theory, YouTube sends you alerts as to when I post. And let me tell you, after my freaking upload schedule, you're going to need them. Look, life has been somewhat busy as of late. But, I was going to say over the Christmas period, I can probably barrel through at least almost definitely Chapter 1, probably Chapter 2 as well. I'm not going to promise it, but I'm going to try my damnedest. I'm terrible at keeping promises. Other than that, do the usual YouTube-y shit. You know, the likes and the comments and the sharing with your friends. If you have friends that you think would like my style of commentary. I was about to say, I suggest you, re-examine your friends. I think it says more about me than it does about anyone else, but hey-ho. Don't examine your friends. Just accept them for who they are. That's strange life philosophies. I did not mean for this outro to turn into that. Why am I still going? Oh, God. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I've been Nyx, and I'll see you on the next one. Laters!